Hi everyone, welcome to my new podcast. My new podcast is so new, I don't even have a name for it yet. But we'll have a name coming up in the future, don't worry, so you can follow and make it easy for you. So, a little bit about me. My name is James Summers. I've been in real estate for over 20 plus years. Born in Burlington, raised in Hamilton. Beyond doing just real estate for over 20 years, I was a paramedic for 30 years in Hamilton, with over 10 years in management on the paramedic program. So in 2019, I retired from the paramedic service, and now I'm doing this full time, and I said I got to take this more serious. So I wanted to start my career on the right foot. So I've been friends with Rob Golfi for well over a decade now, and I gave him a call and said, maybe you'll have me now. In the past, I talked to me, he goes, yeah, I don't take part-timers. I want people that are real. I want people that actually want to work. So anyways, we got Rob with us today for the very first one. I got a few questions for him, and so Rob, thanks for coming and being here for me today. That's
thanks
great.
for having me. I thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Asking you, I think we're at the Casimir restaurant in Air Falls, and I said, let me see about working with you. And you said, and then we talked, and we knew each other, fairly well back then. And
yeah.
I go, but he goes, you still working for the city? I go, yeah. He goes, yeah. I don't know.
No, we
don't take part timers.
No, we don't take part timers. But you know what? I know when you left, it was a major transition because you had an adjustment to deal with. Leaving paramedic,
yeah,
you were in management, like you were the second in command for the Hamilton area.
Third, yeah.
And it was like when you left your job, and I'm like, holy shit. You left your job, which was a pretty good paying job.
Yeah.
And but it was good. I hope there was no regrets. I mean, you've been 5 years out. You've been doing pretty good.
Yeah.
And
They don't fire me yet, so that's good.
That's it. Yeah.
That's
but you know what the thing is? Like, you've got 100% control of your life right now. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, before the paramedics, you were working there. They had some control over you too. You had to report to them.
Yeah.
You had to be there, complaints and everything because you're in management. You had to be there.
Yeah.
But now you're 100% open to be for your clients. You got 100%, to go on appointments. You got 100% to do whatever you want because you're an independent contractor now. So you can do anything you want.
Like me, if I'd known you when I was first starting out, I probably wouldn't have stayed in the paramedics as long as I did, because when you're starting out, and I think we both started out around the same time. I'm about 20 plus years in.
Yeah, you're 25 years. Yeah, 25 years.
You're 3 or 4 years ahead of me, but you jumped in and you just said, "I'm doing this."
I was 100%. I had no choice.
How did you know that you wanted to do real estate? Like, what made you say, "Okay, I'm going to do this real estate thing"?
So in my 20s, I had several businesses. I was that guy that did everything. Tried everything. I was trying to, get rich, and you're in your 20s. I did beauty supply business. I did coupon books. I had my own newspaper. I did like everything. Like I even had my own lawn cutting company called Just Lawns.
Just Lawns.
Yeah, it was a good lawn. It was a good name, Just Lawns. And so I did everything and tried to find my way in life. And I learned through trial and error. Some were successful. Some actually cost me money.
Right.
Something. I wanted to do something. And but then there was a heavy recession in the 90s. That really gave me a good kick in the ass. So broke. None of my friends felt what I felt. They all had, pretty easygoing lives, making money and everything. You've never felt this because you were for paramedics. I was lucky that I had 2 nickels in my pocket to rub against each other. Wow. And there were tough times, and I experienced that in my 20s.
Right.
And it was tough. And plus I had 4 kids. There was a point in my life I said I gotta do something to make money, because in the world of business you had accounts receivable, so people owed you money.
Yeah.
You had to pay people money, accounts payables, and then you have inventory too. So and it was tough. I just said I need to do something where I know I do my job and I get paid. I don't care if I get paid 60 days later, 90 days later. I just know I'm going to get paid.
Yeah.
And so that's when I jumped into real estate. I was hungry. And I just pounded the pavement, and I started making phone calls, and I just stayed on the phones until I started getting appointments, and it worked out. So from then it got me to this point, little by little.
So I love saying this when I go into a home evaluation. like who I work for. We're number one in the area. We're number one in the country. So at what point, what made you decide, like, you're doing it yourself, you're knocking on the doors, you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing, but at some point you said, okay, I need to start a team. So when you decided to make that decision, like, who was the first person you hired? Like, who would be, did you get agents, did you get admin, what did you do?
I started with, a part-time administrator. And just to help me with my administration work. And then I went with one realtor, and I grew it right from there, one at a time. It's just it's just a lifetime of building. We did our biggest growth happened during COVID, but yeah, like I just worked. I found that the more you give and let go, the more you get back.
Right.
So now when I hired another agent, and somebody called me, I want to list the house. Okay, I would go on it, right? I want to list it because I'm going to make the money.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to pass it down to one of the agents that I hired that worked with me.
Okay.
And because I said, well, I have to split it with them, right?
Yeah.
And I wanted all. So that's the wrong way to do it. Actually, pass it on to them, and you'd be amazed how much it comes back by tenfolds. I was able to do more. I was leveraging myself, so I was able to duplicate myself. And I got another agent, and I duplicated myself. And I got another agent, and it just grew from there. So the more you leverage yourself, and the more you give to the agents and give them back, that's how I ended up growing aggressively and strong.
So how long ago did you start the team?
I probably started the team. Actually, when I started with Remax Escarpment, because there was a couple of big agents in that office, I was kind of watching them, seeing how they're doing it. And so I said, if those guys can do it, I'm gonna do it. And I grew slowly, and I ended up, within less than 10 years, I ended up surpassing what they were doing. The problem with those agents were doing when I started out with Remax is that whatever they were doing when they started this business, they were still doing it 15 years later.
Oh. Same. So another thing. So you started with a part-time
administrative assistant, yeah.
And now I can tell, like, now you got a director of sales, you got a manager of sales, you got a personal assistant.
I got an executive assistant.
A couple of us on the team, we're fortunate enough that we have our own assistants as well. Like, how does that feel that you can release all that kind of, you're releasing a lot of responsibility to those people around you so that you can concentrate on what you're doing. And you're doing, I think, right, I mean, you still do sales. I know you're still at the table.
Yeah.
But you're now concentrating on making the brand even better.
My job right now is to make the brand, keep it strong, keep it going, make it rain with leads and keep it going, and handle all the marketing. So I handle the marketing. But now, I hired Holly, and she is my director of sales. She's a huge part of the growth of the Golfi team. And then we ended up getting a lead manager after that. So the lead manager, she makes sure everybody's on top of their leads, and because otherwise it would be chaos. No, the leads would just get dropped, and nobody would take care of them. And then we started hiring a director of operations, and then I've had an executive assistant. I went through two of them, and I had to find one that could think like me and understand me, and understand, like.
So there's two of these out there, is what you're saying.
There's two of them. So Stephanie Vasari, she's my executive assistant. So that lady, you could go to her with the same question as you would come to me, and she could answer that question. She was very, very kind, very accommodating, super nice, and she was very smart, super smart. So she was able to mimic she understands how I think. With my ADD and ADHD, like hyperactive, sometimes I'll jump from subject line to subject line, and I could be talking about 4 different things in the same conversation. She can actually track that conversation, exactly know what I'm talking about.
Wow.
So, and not many people can do that. She understood me, she read me right, and now she does a lot of the banking. I trust her unbelievably. And not only that, she helped me open another company up. So we have a Golfi Property Management, and we bought another company, and we amalgamated them with us. So we got their staff and everything that joined us. And I'm making Stephanie the CEO of that property management company. So she's going to be running it. I would not be able to open that company up.
So it goes back to what you said earlier about giving up control to somebody to take it on, leverage yourself with the right people around you,
and hire the right people. Don't cheap out. If it costs more money, it's gonna benefit.
You get what you pay for.
You get what you pay for. So you want to hire a mediocre person because they're cheaper. Guess what? You're going to get mediocre results. You want great results, but guess what? The pressure's on them because if you're paying them big money, they got to perform. And Stephanie, she more than performs. Right. And so she actually came through, and she gets paid well, but also she works hard.
She works it.
She works it. Yeah. She's worth it every penny.
Absolutely. So one thing that most people might not know about this guy. So here he is. He's built up a big business, a great brand. We're killing it. He's still the first one in the office every morning. Like, you're still the first one in the office every morning. Yeah. I mean, fortunately now, like, you get a little bit better leaving. You're leaving at a regular time, normal time now, so the wife must be happy about that.
Well, I'm actually probably going to an appointment or something like that.
But it's a little bit more regular leaving.
Yeah.
But in the morning, like, he is there before anyone. So how does so you've been doing this 25 years?
Yeah.
You're still motivated, like, you're still pumped.
I'm still hungry. I'm still hungry like it's the first day of my job.
How do you stay this hungry after this much time?
I just love what I do, and I think if you love what you do, it's not work. Like I'd say probably in the 25 years, I've probably gotten up maybe I can count on one hand that I actually was tired to get up to go to work, and it's because I was probably overexhausted, but I get up and go. As soon as I get up, boom, go. And I'm there. The Tim Hortons where I live opens up at 5:30. I'm right there waiting in line.
I'll tell you, I've been to his house for dinner, and he can't sit still. We were waiting for the dinner to get ready, and he's like, "Let's go to Tim Hortons and have a coffee and grab a coffee." I'm like, "Well, we're gonna eat in 20 minutes." Yeah, we got time. Let's go. Like, you just are always going.
It's just in my nature. So somebody said to me, like, should I take pills for this hyperactiveness, right? And they
you should take pills?
Yeah. And somebody else said, one person said maybe you should take pills. The other person said, don't take the pills, Rob, because you wouldn't be where you are today if you took those pills. If you suppress your personality, you suppress your energy, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing today.
100%. I agree with that. 100%.
Yeah.
I can tell you from experience, being on his team for 4 years, my anniversary next month, 4 years. I don't think you do the same thing for 12 months in a row. Like, you change it up all the time.
Yeah.
And new ideas and And so one last question. I mean, I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you shared that story with me, because I mean, it's like I said, we've been around the game the same amount of time, but I was doing my thing, and you've built a strong brand. I can tell you guys, if anyone is thinking of joining a team, call the office, because it makes a difference when you walk in and you say, I'm working with a Golfi team. It does make a big difference, for sure.
I appreciate it.
So what's next for the Raw Golfi or the Golfi team, or where are we headed next?
So, the Golfi Property Management is up, and it'll be officially, the website will be up and running probably within, actually it's geared to be hit the web on June 10th. And we got also a co-work office space. So we have four or five different buildings that people can rent offices or just use open, like a desk in there, and it's called Bright Workspace, and that's going to be up and running probably middle to the end of July. So we got an office, a co-work space in Niagara Falls. We got a co-work space in St. Catharines. We got a co-work space in Grimsby, and we got some space in Burlington, and then also Hamilton. So anybody that's looking for just wants to use space and just work in an office atmosphere, we've got the space. Our website will be up and running. It's called brightworkspace.com, and that'll be up and running in probably by mid-July. You'll see that website up and running. The website's done. It's done. It's all done. Yeah. We just got to press on. We want to do some floor plans of the different offices. We got 2 under renovations right now. Actually, 3 under renovations, because the house, the property in Niagara Falls, we took the apartment out and we made offices into it. So it's going to be good. All glass. It's going to look like something you see in the show Suits from Netflix.
I got to tell you, his offices, when he redoes them, Like I work out of the Burlington office, 560 Branch Street. Come and see me anytime. I'm usually there. A little plug for me, shameless. But the office is boutique. It's glass. It's shiny. It's bright. Like you really, You don't hold back on the office.
Yeah. When you walk in that office,
it is spectacular.
It's a beautiful office. You're used to it now because you walk in there. But when somebody new walks in, they go, wow, like they appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. So this is my very first podcast. I've never done one. I got Danielle over here, who's my assistant, who has been pushing me to do this. And she'll be on episodes coming up for sure. But if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't have done this today. And I'm so happy and honored to have you as my first guest. And I'm looking forward to working with you for a long time.
Well, that's it. Oh, I appreciate it. Thanks, but that's it. We could have gone. I could have gone all night.
That's why I want to cut you off.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for having me on, buddy.